Have you ever felt the weight of silence pressing down on your prayers, as if every word you spoke rose only to dissolve in the air? Imagine for a moment the wind on Mount Carmel, dry and tense, the sky above heavy with expectation. Elijah stands alone, his heart pounding with both fear and faith, surrounded by a nation whose hope has faded into doubt. The prophets of Baal have danced and shouted from dawn till dusk, their voices hoarse, their rituals empty. The people watch, uncertain, their eyes flickering between the altar of Baal and the solitary figure of Elijah. The air is thick with anticipation, the kind that makes every breath feel sacred and every second stretch into eternity. Elijah's hands tremble as he rebuilds the altar of the Lord, stone by stone, each one a memory of promises made and miracles past. He pours water over the sacrifice not once but 3 times, until the trench around the altar overflows. The crowd murmurs, "Why make it harder for God to answer?" But Elijah knows, when God moves, there will be no doubt. As the last drop falls, Elijah steps forward, his face turned upward, his voice steady but soft. He does not shout, he does not perform. He simply prays. "Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and have done all these things at your command. Answer me, Lord, answer me, so these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again." His prayer is not long, but it is laden with centuries of faith, with the cries of a people desperate for hope. In that moment, time seems to pause, the wind stills, the crowd holds its breath. Then suddenly fire falls from heaven, blinding, consuming, undeniable. It devours the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, even the water in the trench. The people fall to their knees, faces to the ground, overwhelmed by the reality that God has heard, that God has answered. But Elijah's story is not just about fire from heaven. It is about the silence that comes before the answer, the courage to pray when nothing seems to change, the faith to believe when hope feels impossible. Maybe you know that silence. Maybe you have rebuilt your own altar, restoring faith, piecing together hope, offering up your pain and longing, and still the sky remains silent. You've prayed for healing, for breakthrough, for peace in the storm, but the answer has not come. You wonder if God sees you, if your voice matters, if your situation can ever change. Elijah's prayer was not a magic formula. It was the cry of a heart that refused to give up, a declaration that God is still God even when the world wavers. His prayer was shaped by exhaustion, by loneliness, by the relentless pressure of standing alone for what is right. He was not immune to fear or doubt. He knew what it was to feel forgotten, to wonder if the heavens would ever open again. Yet, in his weakness, he chose to pray. In his exhaustion, he chose to trust. So now, as you listen, bring your own burdens to this moment. Let your heart echo Elijah's. Maybe your altar is built with tears, with sleepless nights, with questions that have no easy answers. Maybe you have poured out everything you have, and all that remains is a simple, desperate prayer. God, let your fire fall. Show me that you are still here. God is not distant from your pain. He is not deaf to your cries. The same God who answered Elijah with fire is the God who sees you now, who knows every detail of your struggle, who holds every hope and fear in his hands. He is not limited by the odds stacked against you, by the voices that say it's impossible, by the silence that lingers. His power is not diminished by your weakness. In fact, it is made perfect there. As you stand in your own Carmel moment, remember, the altar is ready. The sacrifice has been made. The prayer has been spoken. Now, wait for the fire, not always in the way you expect, not always in the timing you desire, but always in a way that reveals God's heart for you. The breakthrough may come as a sudden miracle, or as a quiet assurance that you are not alone. Either way, God's answer is certain. Let your prayer rise with Elijah's. Lord, answer me. Show me your power. Turn my heart back to you. And, as you pray, believe that heaven is listening, that the silence is not the end of your story, but the stage for God's glory to be revealed. You are not forgotten. Your struggle is seen. Your prayer is powerful, not because of the words you say, but because of the God who hears. Stand firm. Keep praying. The God who answers by fire is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and He will answer you.